Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. We're here on Thursday, which means we have got Thursday's 13 list. Today is going to be phrases from the 1960s. So 13 phrases that were only, or maybe not only used, but they were definitely popularized in 1960s. It became a trendy thing to say.
You hear him today and you're like, what the hell? What's that mean?
We also have some general news stories today that are covering just what's going on in the world. So let's start the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got coffee in our veins and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's read out those Thursday's headlines and spin that segue wheel.
Right.
Today on Thursday's 13. Latvian Prime Minister resigns over Ukraine-Russia drone incidents. And the EU moves to block imports of Brazil's animal products starting from September.
Greetings and salutations from the United States, where we have in wholesale inflation jumps to its hugest increase since 2022, and Utah backlash after a huge data center is approved by local politicians.
The EU says countries, not Brussels, should ban LGBTQ plus conversion therapy.
And get hip, daddy. Get hip, daddy. We got the lingo. That's right. Get hip, daddy. We got the lingo from the 60s that will blow your chrome dome. Anyway.
In my culture news, drug counselor who supplied fatal ketamine to Matthew Perry is sentenced to 2 years in prison.
He needs to meet Elon Musk. Whoa, I'm on the wrong day. Let's do... sorry about that. I was in yesterday for a second. And it's national something. Let me do this scrolling thing. Sorry. It's... My lord. It starts the word and I can't scroll down to it. Okay, there we go. It's National Pizza Party Day. So if you got one of them jobs where that's the only benefit, well, there you go. This is why you work there. It is Thursday, May 14th, 2026 on Before Coffee.
Pizza party. Pizza party.
Friday,
it's so weird that becomes a bonus for people at jobs. Because as far as I remember, pizza parties were only fun at when you were in school. Oh, we're not learning today.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're for. Maybe having pizza parties in school was the normalization of expecting pizza parties as a word, so that when you become an actual professional, gets paid to do a job, you just accept it as a bonus. Just like in middle school. This is great.
Right, yeah.
Getting a $50 bonus on my whatever.
Yeah. The only good part is that somebody else bought your lunch. Other than that, you say, hey, I saved money on lunch today. That's about it. Because I can't think of any other good thing about pizza party. Because a lot of times, they just buy pizza you don't like. And that's what happened to me in Oregon. They bought, we got free pizza today. I hope you didn't bring lunch.
Okay.
And, yeah. So they buy these pizzas are made by this fucking boutique pizza place. God bless them. They're trying. But none of it tasted like pizza. It just tasted like some shit they were trying out. And yeah, okay. Oregon. It's not exactly New York City, you know what I mean? But that was really unfortunate. It's like, what's on this pizza and why? You know? It's like, pizza's a very simple thing. You keep fucking it up. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, let's spin the wheel. I got something itching me here.
All right, let's spin the
Calamine
wheel.
lotion or something. I got alcohol here. It's pretty itch. Called burns, but it stops the itch.
Hypothetical is our first segue.
Hypothetical.
Or I have two stories here, but one's more like just a big update. So Latvian Prime Minister is resigning over drone drama. This is from Janis Laizans on The Independent. Latvia center-right Prime Minister Evika Selina said she would resign on Thursday, which is today, the 14th of May, triggering the collapse of her coalition government just months before an election is due in October. "I am resigning, but I am not giving up," she said in a televised statement. Latvian President Edgars Rinkēvičs, who is tasked by the Constitution to select the leader of the government, will meet all parliamentary parties tomorrow on the 15th of May. Selina, of the center-right New Unity Party, was left without a ruling majority in Parliament on Wednesday, the 13th of May, after the left-wing Progressives Party said it was withdrawing its support. The decision followed a firing at the weekend of Progressives Defense Minister Andriy Spruds over the handling of the incidents involving stray Ukrainian drones flying into Latvia from Russia. What a crazy drama to fire people over. But I really can't even find anything about this. I was hoping they'd give me more information, like, what was the drama about? Why did they fire him? Last week, Latvia and Lithuania called on NATO to boost air defenses in their region after two drones came over to the Russian border and exploded an oil storage facility in Latvia. There you go. Oil! My oil! You're fired. You should have shot those down yourself. The Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha on Sunday, which was the 10th of May, said on Twitter that the drones were Ukrainian and flew into Latvia as a result of Russian electronic warfare deliberately diverting Ukrainian drones from their targets in Russia. In response to the drone incidents, Ukraine is considering sending experts to help strengthen air security over the Baltic states, Sybiha said last Friday. Could have been... What was last Friday? The 8th of May? The 9th of May? So I guess that's the drama. I don't know why it was the minister's fault for that, but they're blaming him. They're blaming the minister for the drone hiccup. Andrew Spruds. Hey, you should have shot down those drones. You're fired. Oh, goes my coalition. There goes me being prime minister. That's how easy an entire government can collapse, I guess. Well, it's not really a collapse. Their coalition no longer has a majority. I have not a metaphorical, a hypothetical for that. Hello?
Sorry, my mic off.
Yeah.
I was looking at my phone. Hypothetical? Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Hypothetical is basically everything, right? Yeah, center-right government, you said. That's about all I understood about what's going on here. And it seems like center-right seems like, to my mind, is hypothetically, center-right in the United States would probably be liberals at this point. I don't know. So, what does that even mean? I mean, I don't even know. Because the thing about center-right and liberals and center-left and all these things, different things, the people who are opposed to Trump in this country are the conservatives. They're not the liberals. As far as I know, the people that vote for Trump are liberal in every way other than they like Trump. I have no idea what their politics, because they're definitely not conservatives, because conservatives would never approve this shit. They would never approve tariffs. So anyway, that's my hypothetical. People would start calling things actually were instead of just giving them labels. What they believe, right? What does center-right believe in Latvia or Estonia or wherever? What do they actually believe? Instead of just saying center-right. Okay, you staked out a position that nobody can understand, but you got a label. Sorry, it's my total diatribe, but I'll blame the coffee. It's the coffee's fault.
Well, let me
I'll stop.
do this. Okay, my next story, which is a little longer, is going to be about blocking imports from Brazil. This is from Sao Paulo on AP News. Brazil said on Tuesday, which would have been the 12th of May, that the European Union has moved to block its animal product exports from September, just days after a mega deal between the South American trade bloc, Mercosur, and the EU on transatlantic market estimated at $22 trillion went into effect, at least provincially. Which means not all states under the EU have agreed with it, just in general the EU allows it. The deal, which is now before the European Court of Justice, has faced opposition from European farmers and environmental groups worried about unfair competition, threats to their livelihoods, and price pressure and environmental standards. A statement from Brazil's Agricultural Ministry said Europe's decision was received with surprise, adding that the South American country's government will try to reverse it. Brazilian media said the EU claimed it had not received proof that animal products from Brazil and other countries were free of antimicrobial substances used to stimulate animal growth. So all those farmers being like, they're going to break all our rules. Look here. Here's the proof in the pudding, I guess. The EU will enforce their own rules on Brazil for imports. Brazil's head of the mission at the EU will meet the bloc's authorities on animal products on Wednesday. Isn't Wednesday yesterday? Did they meet yesterday? Yeah, this report on the 13th of May, which was Wednesday. So they met yesterday. They met yesterday on the 13th of May to seek explanations about the decision, the ministry said. According to Brazilian Government's Association for Animal Products, EU countries were the third biggest destination for Brazil's beef in 2025, after the US and China. The EU-Mercosur Free Trade Agreement came into force on May 1st. It was signed on January 17th at a meeting of the South American group, which includes Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has provisionally enacted the deal, effectively sidestepping the EU Parliament, where the agreement is now being challenged by EU lawmakers at the bloc's judiciary. The agreement will be halted if the European body rules against it. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Like I said, it sounds like farmers are scared of what ifs and not actual reality of what will happen if this deal is into effect, and they're already doing it. There's a comment here actually that says, Europe always listens to the experts and has high standards that prevent the import of toxic products, especially meat, fruit, and vegetables. Bravo! I'm not sure if they're toxic. I just think growth hormone has been found to negatively affect humans when consumed. But I wouldn't use the word toxic. You're not going to die of growth hormone. You just might grow a 11th finger or something.
Yeah, you got a giant head.
Toxic is a totally different word. Language matters here.
Yeah.
A giant dome.
I don't know if you're gonna grow any fingers because there's evidence. Baseball players used it for years, and a lot of them are banned. Like Barry Bonds. Yeah, Barry Bonds. It's HGH. They call it human growth hormone, which is it's gonna cause you problems. One thing, if you got a freaking any kind of cancer, right? That's probably gonna grow faster than anything else, right? Because cancer cells don't die. That's why they're cancer cells. Anyway, there's your fun little hypothetical, I guess. I guess cancers.
Get that growth hormone. I mean, avoid that growth hormone.
Yeah. Why do you? Yeah, I guess if you want to hit more home runs, but you're probably gonna have some problems.
Eat some Brazilian beef, I guess. Okay, we're not saying. By the way, we're not saying that the Brazilian beef does have growth hormones. They're just saying you haven't given us a report to prove you don't have it, so we can't safely import your meat.
Eating growth hormones. I know eating your meat has been definitely transferable to making you into some kind of mutant. Maybe it is, and I really myself would not mind being a mutant. I wouldn't mind being a mutant. It depends on what my power was. So if I had to have some secret power,
Your secret power.
I think
I don't know.
I am comfortable in my eccentricities. I've decided
we'll do
all of my eccentricities.
We'll do a mutant quiz at the end of the stream, and then you'll see what kind of powers you can get from some sort of BuzzFeed quiz.
Well, like
You
I
have the power to
said,
smell
for
really
instance,
good.
like I said, okay, like I said, like I consider myself. This is going to sound egocentric, but I consider myself a wizard and
Ooh.
a clairvoyant, but not a good wizard, right? Not I'm really good at it
Okay.
because I don't know how to control any of these things I can do. I have no idea how to control it. So don't think I'm full of myself. I'm just saying I probably have some secret, but I have just no idea how to control it. And I see things before they happen, and I don't know how to tell people. And then I see it happen, and I go, "Hey, I saw that happen," and then nobody believes you. So it's really hard to tell people because, Anyway, having special powers and not knowing how to use them is not really a thing. It's not really
Mm-hmm.
useful, right? It's bad. So I think everybody has this, by the way. I think everybody does. They just haven't discovered it or how to use it. So I'm not singling myself out.
Our next
But
segue
other
is tell a
things I won't
joke.
I have other things I won't get into that I'm actually good at, but then it becomes egocentric, right? Because this guy's full of himself. But again, you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Otherwise, you're just wondering, right? Okay, what did you spend? Sorry.
Tell a joke.
Jokes. We got them jokes. We got them jokes about inflation, maybe. It's no joke. Inflation is really getting out of hand, driven by stupid wars and gas prices. This is from CNBC.com, your NBC's fascist wing. And even they're out there going, yeah, inflation is a problem. Wholesale inflation jumps to 6%. Wholesale inflation. We're not talking about the ones that you're paying today. It's the ones you're paying tomorrow after your idiot, the corporations get done taking their profits. Wholesale inflation jumps to 6% in April on an annual basis. Biggest increase in 4 years, when everybody was bitching about inflation 4 years ago. Wholesale prices in April posted the highest annual increase in more than 3 years. The producer price index rose at a seasonally adjusted 1.4 for the month, much higher than the 0.5 Dow Jones consensus forecast. This is why we don't use the Dow Jones for a reference on anything like that. Crazy ex-attorney general Pam Blondie quoting the Dow Jones as if that had any effect on any human beings anywhere outside of oligarchs. It doesn't. Most people, if you invest in the stock market at all, it's just through your 401k. And your 401k is usually some conservative little, we're going to buy it. I mean, you can adjust what you buy in certain 401k for sure. But most people don't even look at it. They just forget about it. Anyway, the producer price index, let's do this again. The Dow Jones consensus forecast in the upperly revised 0.7 March increase. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Wednesday. Everybody's reporting different increases at different rates, but they're all going up. On the annual basis, the index was up 6%, the biggest increase in 4 years, including food and energy. The core producer price index is celebrating 1% compared with 0.4 estimate. Energy was the root of the unexpected high gain in producer prices, as it was the surge in consumer prices that BLS reported Tuesday. Of course, it's fuel prices, fueled by the closing of the Straits of Hormuz, fueled by Stinky the Clown's unnecessary war that's accomplishing not a damn thing. Not a good thing. Now, one good thing has happened because of this stupid war that was started to get the headlines changed from something besides Donald Trump molesting children. Some 3/4 of the gain in goods stemmed from a 7.8% jump in final demand energy. If you can absorb that, you got more money than me. More than 40% of that was traced to a 15.6% surge in gasoline during a month with prices soared well past $4 a gallon. While much of the inflation move has been attributed to the war and Stinky's tariffs, they were introduced a year ago. The PPI data shows that price pressures were broad-based. Yeah, he's screwing up the economy at all levels. He's not just a 2-trick pony, right? He's a 70-trick pony on how to fuck up the economy. And one more reminder that Donald Trump works for Russia. And whoever else is blackmailing him, such as Israel, Saudi Arabia, whoever has the Epstein files, unredacted, has all the information on Trump that we don't have, and they're blackmailing him. So there's your fun little story about inflation. I got another one, so don't rest on your laurels yet.
More inflation news. That's
If
not
you have
good.
laurels, I will tell you that inflation,
What is a
which is
laurel?
the consumer, the consumer price index, the one that we pay, right? The one that we pay, the one that we go to. Oh my God, that's more expensive. 3.8. That's right. That one at the consumer prices pro was 3.8 in April from a year earlier. In fact, that is the high for since 2022 when Donald Trump's ridiculous deal with Saudi Arabia hit home. Saudi Arabia cut production, plus we had supply chain issues due to the pandemic. Both of those things conspired to drive prices in 2022. Idiots and morons in the media blame Joe Biden, and it wasn't Joe Biden's fault at all. It was freaking Stinky the Clown getting Saudi Arabia, where we buy our oil. We buy our oil that we produce from Saudi Arabia. We do make our own. We can supply our own oil, but we still buy it from Saudi Arabia. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And don't forget, they set the price. They set the price by cutting production. When you cut production, and production is not being cut now, but shipping is being cut. So anyway, it doesn't matter where you get your oil from. When production is cut worldwide, the price goes up, and that is a price that is set by the markets on the futures markets. It's not set by you going to the gas pump. You have no control over it. And the president can do certain things, but anyway, I belabored the point.
I just heard inflation in Europe is so bad, people are trading small cars instead of money. Apparently, it's a fiat currency.
Oh, the puns. Hold on a second. I was sleeping on the soundboard.
So many jokes about inflation these days. Because demand has increased following a period of low interest.
No.
It's a very specific joke. Which of course we argued about, 2 years ago? When they were like, oh, inflation, let's lower the interest rates. They're saying that for all of 2024, I think. This will fix it. I have no idea if it fixed it or not.
The highest inflation since 2022, right? That's what you voted for, Trumpsters. High inflation.
How high is inflation?
For 4 years, right?
Enough to use a broomstick to commute around. That's how high.
Oh, no, that's lame fun. Lame. All right, next story. We're going to talk about more oligarchs ruining everything for everybody. And again, we had no purpose for this. TheGuardian.com. Try to shorten this story up. Some irresponsible backlash. Irresponsible, it says. Irresponsible, it says in quotes. Backlash as Utah approves data center twice the size of Manhattan. Yeah, okay. Let's put it to a vote, motherfuckers. A plan to create one of the world's largest data centers, a gargantuan product spanning an area more than twice the size of Manhattan, bigger than the entire city of Washington, D.C., let's put it that way, has provoked a furious public backlash in Utah amid concerns over its vast energy use and impact upon the state's stressed water supplies. Where does Utah get water from? Got me. I've driven all over Utah. They have rivers, I'm sure, right? Somewhere, right? They have snow that melts. Anyway, it's all going to these rich assholes in their data center. Congratulations. The Stratos. Oh, I love how they give it a name, like a Greek name. They can make it so. Oh, it's the Stratos, artificial intelligence data center footprint. So they ruined the name Stratos for all of eternity, but put it on a data center. Artificial intelligence data center footprint will cover more than 40,000 acres or 62 square miles. So 60 square miles would be 8 times 8. 8 miles that way, 8 miles that way. 64 square miles, right? So that's how big it is. Over 3 sites at Box Elder County in northwestern Utah. Well, nobody lives there. It's just animals. Who cares about them? They're just things we eat. The facility will require about 96 gigawatts of power, which is more than the entire state of Utah currently consumes, and suck up a significant amount of water in an area that has been hit by severe drought because they live in a fucking desert. It's not a severe drought. You live in a desert. It's not a drought. You live in a desert. Repeat after me. I live in a desert. It's not a drought. Water is always going to be scarce in Utah. It's not going to change. Anyway, last week, the project was approved by the country's commissioners, despite thousands, the county's commissioners. Just think of some rural county in Utah, right? A bunch of dirt farmers and scumbags. They're probably not scumbags, but now they are definitely scumbags. They make $30,000 a year. Oh, here comes data center man with a big old bribe. And that's all it takes. They bribed them. Environmentalists have warned that the stratus could imperil the Great Salt Lake's ecosystem, no shit, including critical migratory bird habitat, resulting under severe stress. People aren't worried about that. They're bitching because their electric bill is just going to way too high, and they're not going to get anything for it. Nothing. Data centers not going to improve their lives at all. There is a lake, the Great Salt Lake, out there in Utah. It's not the most drinkable water in the year, but it is shrinking due to the water diverted for agriculture. Yeah, we divert it for agriculture, get full of chemicals, and then we dump it in the lake. And the impact of climate crisis placing inhabitants of the nearby Salt Lake City at possible risk of toxic dust clouds as the lake bed dries up. It ain't gonna get any better, Utah. You keep voting against your best interests. Congratulations, you did it. You finally killed your own state. At a time when Great Salt Lake is already in crisis, approving a project that will consume water and energy at this scale is irresponsible and dangerous, said Frank Baines, director of the Sierra Club's Utah chapter. Poor guy. He's like holding back the tide with a comb. Utahns want to see the Great Salt Lake restored, not stripped. The proposed project is backed by Kevin O'Leary, a giant bald piece of shit, the venture capitalist who appears on the TV show Shark Tank and recently played a villainous tycoon in the movie Marty. Oh, somebody paid him to be on a movie. Oh, way to go, assholes.
And he played himself.
He played a villainous tycoon, he played himself in the movie Marty Supreme.
Sorry, free joke.
I will never see. If that guy's in it, I will not give money to the studio that paid him to be in it. Fuck Kevin O'Leary. Take him out and, well, let's not say that. We don't advocate violence, but I have no use for people that just stomp all over your rights so they can make a few bucks. O'Leary has claimed that Stratos will deliver thousands of jobs and help the U.S. compete with China. What jobs? Tell me the jobs. Tell me exact. When you say thousands of jobs, Mister, here's where these a-holes piss me off, right? When you go into Shark Tank and you want a business proposal, they want these fucking details from you. What you do? What's your sales on? Who people you sell it to? They want all this fucking information, right? And believe me, I'm a business major. I know what they fucking want. But here's the thing. When they're telling you something, they can just get broad generalizations. It's going to create thousands of jobs. Oh, really? Kevin O'Leary, tell me the jobs. Tell me specific amount of jobs it's going to create and what jobs they're going to do and what jobs what service they're going to perform. I want an itemized list, not thousands of jobs. I want an itemized list. Every job, how many, and what they're going to do, and how long they're going to last. This thousands of jobs nonsense is horse shit. It's not true. Anyway, this bald idiot went on to say, I don't think there's a bigger sight in the world than this. Okay. It shows the Chinese and the rest of the world we're not messing around. Who fucking cares? The last time I cared about the Chinese, you want to know what it was? Never. I've never cared about the Chinese. Not at all. Never. Never kept me up at night. Oh no, the Chinese! Never. Not one damn second. You know what cares about the Chinese? Rich people. They're worried that the Chinese are doing capitalism better than us. And want to totally clamp down on civil rights too. That's what they're worried about. So when they say Chinese, they're jealous of the Chinese because the Chinese have total control over their citizens. Think about it that way. This guy is a fascist. We don't care about the Chinese getting ahead of us. We buy our stuff from China. We have for over 25 years now bought most of our stuff from China. I think you know this, Kevin O'Leary. Anyway, there's my story. I could go on and on and on and on and on about this, but basically I'm just going to go on diatribes. Yeah, exactly. I will. I am underwhelmed with their argument of providing thousands of jobs. We can go on to some of his condescending bullshit. O'Leary has claimed in social media posts that most of the protesters don't live locally and have been paid to object to the project. Okay. Everybody's motivated by greed, Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, just like you.
I'm motivated by greed, so so is everybody else. They're being bussed in. Opponents of the project have rejected the accusation. On Monday, a group called itself the Box Elder Accountability Referendum filed an application. And by the way, if you're a protester and you're bussed in, so fucking what? You are a citizen of the United States. The ecology of the United States is all of our ecology. It doesn't belong to fucking Utah. And there's a bunch of politicians in Utah. And the groundwater doesn't just belong to Utah. The groundwater's in the ground and it goes everywhere. So stop wasting water, Utah. Is irrelevant. Is Kevin O'Leary from Utah? If he isn't, then he needs to shut the fuck up. Anyway, next story. Instead of speaking with us, Kevin O'Leary went on social media saying we're out-of-state paid protesters and we don't want people from out of state making decisions for us, said Brandon Williams, the lead sponsor of referendum push. The only thing he's right about is that we don't want him, an out-of-state billionaire, making decisions for us, she said. So this pile of human waste, it's waste of DNA, Kevin O'Leary. Again, Kevin O'Leary serves no purpose on Earth. I don't even think his children need him. His children only need his money. If he has children. And hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully this guy has not procreated, but I know rich people are. Their egos won't allow them not to procreate, right? You know, I must have children. Anyway, let's have a couple of jokes about this piece of shit Kevin O'Leary and his, ruining his own reputation by telling people that they are stupid and from out of state when he is from out of state. Just amazing audacity of these cocksuckers. And then, yeah. What's the joke? I mean, the joke writes itself, doesn't it?
One day I'll be able to tell it too.
Right on.
Fans at full speed in the data center. Congratulations! You've summoned tornado mode. These are all not angry jokes, unlike... Sorry. I don't feel like being angry about anything today, so I don't have any cynicism today.
Okay, man. I got all the cynicism you need.
You know what they say, fans of data centers love drama. They stir everything up.
Yeah, and the answer to their, and again, the answer to his the debate on whether the data center is any good for anybody was the people who are protesting are from out of state. Okay, and your
you already said that.
They're still
You've already said this.
They're still right. Yeah, they're still right. They're still right. Your argument is they're right, but they're from out of state. That's not an argument.
I mean, it sounds like
you're wrong.
He has trust issues, just like a router. It has to verify everything.
Oh yeah.
All right, there's all my comedy for you.
Name one way AI has made your life better. Name one way, just one. Anybody out there.
Well, I mean, I don't want to do this again, but I have to do this every time we yell about AI. Generative AI is the problem here, not AI. We've been using AI since the 2000s, okay? AI has been being used in medical practice and research and all sorts of things since we invented computers. But generative AI is the problem because they steal stuff from human beings and say, I created a thing, I'm so smart. It's like you didn't make anything. You invented something humans already had made, and then you combined them together into some sort of freak mutant thing.
But again, the AI that even the older AI we always been using is not great, right? I'm saying it's like we're stuck with it. It's like we're stuck with the computers we got and the way they're processing information.
Yeah, but I want to say the
that way.
people who are making these data centers are specifically, right? They're specifically want to go deeper into generative AI so they can replace humans. That's what they want to do.
Right, and it makes us
we don't need
lazy.
humans for that anymore. We have generative AI to do that now. They can generate whatever they want. What happens when the humans stop making stuff? I have no idea. I mean, we're kind of already, a lot of people already argue we're already doing that, right? We're already in a bubble of repeating the same stuff, right? Music is the same. We're always repeating the same stuff. We're doing remakes all the time. Have we reached the end of human creativity and intelligence? No. But the people who are making data centers and generative AI, they want to tell you we have. Oh, we can't do it anymore. Yeah. We need generative AI to bring a fourth dimension to our creativity because we're done. We've made all that will ever be made in the history of humanity.
Yeah, we're holding back the tide with the mop. We're holding back the tide of the mop. Or hole, they said. Yeah, we're just going to keep doing the stupid shit that, again, AI doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I prove it over and over every single day. I have a conversation with AI and it gets shit wrong. Like, shit that I know is wrong without even doing any research, just basic facts. And I'm like, holy crap. What shit are you getting wrong that I can't?
And it's getting really bad now because there are people who can't develop their own opinion. Without asking ChatGPT, ChatGPT, do I like this movie? Decide for yourself, bro. Don't need to ask ChatGPT to decide if you're allowed to like something. If you like something and it's crap, it's called a guilty pleasure. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you out with that.
Are any AI telling me that humans get offended by that? I was like, wait a minute, I'm a human, you're not, and you can't tell me what I get offended by. You're not human. Well, I was programmed by humans. No, that's not the same thing, pal. It's not the same. You have a bias. You have a built-in bias. I have a built-in bias, but I can admit it. You don't. You don't. You're AI. You never. Oh, I apologize for my mistake. Guys, they'll apologize for a mistake. I'll ask them the same question the next day. You'll still get it wrong. So they do not learn. They do not have the capability. They're like an Alzheimer's patient, by the way. That's what they're exactly like. They only remember the good old days. They don't remember what you just told them. They're living in them. They're not even living in the moment, right? They're living in 4 years ago and they got the wrong information that changed the next day, by the way. That the information changed the next day. Because information does that. It doesn't carry forward with the same, right? New information arrives. AI doesn't have to pay attention to it. You don't either. But again, you can retain that shit. AI apparently at this stage cannot. It will go back to its default setting, which is that idiot who was talking to me doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm the real authority here. And it's never going to work, folks. It's never going to work. We're chasing our fucking tails on this, and we're just sending money down the line. The rich oligarchs are just going to waste it, crash the economy again like they always do. I don't know what to tell you, man. Don't trust rich people. They're out to screw you. They're out to... I had a discussion with a bank the other day, and I told him, man, your threats don't work on me. Take me to court. Take me to court. Your threats don't work. They don't work on me. You're ruining my credit rating. It's ruined. It's already ruined. You're going to take me to collection? Do it. Take me to court. And then he just got all soft on me. They got all soft. Oh, well, here's the thing. Oh, here's what's going to happen. Okay. I know that's what's going to happen. I'm just telling you, you're not going to get another nickel out of me until you take me to court. Sorry. I'm not settling on your terms. I don't have to. Anyway, let's have us another spin for the next story.
I did the spin 10 minutes ago. Accurate metaphor and simile.
Right on. Well, you know, I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say.
Our next story is coming out of the EU, which is from your. It's time for me to speak. Politico. You can keep talking after I'm done. Politico.
I'll mute myself.
By Claudia Chiappa, coming out of Brussels. The European Commission will not enact an EU-wide ban on conversion therapy aimed at changing or suppressing the identity of LGBTQ plus people, but will urge countries to outlaw it nationally in response to a major citizens petition. Reminder that when you have a citizens petition in the EU, you have to get like 1,000 signatories or something. So it's not big, but it is kind of hard to get that much signatures. The European Commission is sending a very clear message, without ambiguity, to every member state in the Union. Ban conversion practices now, said Equality Commissioner Hajia Labib on yesterday, the 13th of May, while presenting Brussels' response to the campaign. This sends a powerful signal that these practices are harmful but also must be illegal. The European Citizens Initiative, which collected, a million, collected more than 1 million signatures, called for a binding legal ban on conversion practices, defined as interventions aimed at changing, repressing, or suppressing the sexual orientation, gender identity, and/or gender expression of an LGBTQ plus person. These practices can include verbal abuse, coercion, isolation, forced medication, electric shocks, and physical and sexual abuse, writes the Commission, and have no therapeutic value. They do the opposite of therapy. They give you trauma. But the Commission said on the 13th of May, it plans instead to adopt a recommendation in 27 calling on countries to enact a ban on conversion practices, a decision that the campaign organizers saw as a missed opportunity. Through the recommendation, the Commission will recognize the critical role that member states play in the area and focus on supporting them in banning conversion practices, encouraging national action to extend the legal ban across the EU, it said in a communication. The responsibility lies mostly at the level of member states, and if we wanted to adopt a binding legalization, unanimity would have been necessary, Labib told reporters. Currently, only 8 EU countries have banned conversion practices. Can you tell me which ones they are so I can name and shame the rest of them? 8 countries have banned conversion practices. It's not going to tell me, so I have to look it up myself.
Estonia, Belarus.
Not Belarus, no way. Can you tell me? Okay, well, the search assistant has told me it's only 7, but I guess there was an 8th one somewhere. I don't know what the 8th one is. It says here, at least according to AI, so let me tell you that this is coming from Wikipedia, I guess. Belgium, Cyprus, France, Malta, Norway, Portugal, and Spain have outright banned conversion therapy. So if you do it to somebody, you are breaking a law. Greece, I guess that's the 8th one. Greece specifically banned it for minors. And Germany prohibits it for minors and non-consenting adults. So if you're an adult and you're not consenting and you live in Greece, they can still do conversion therapy on you. But if you're a minor, you're protected. And in Germany, it's basically a ban, but they just don't actually ban it. They could just actually ban it, right? If you consent to get shock therapy, then you're allowed to, I guess. If you're a German person in the closet and you want to be fixed somehow, you're allowed to do it in Germany, I guess is the argument. So those are the countries, now that we know. They have shown it can be done, Labib said. We are building on that momentum, on calling on the rest to follow. And with this recommendation in hand, I will personally advocate with ministers across our union to end these barbaric practices. The petition also asked the Commission to add these practices to the list of Euro crimes, which are serious crimes with a cross-border dimension, and possibly amend the 2008 Directive on Equality to include a ban on these practices. It also wanted the executive to amend the Victims' Right Directive to establish minimum standards on rights, support, and protection of victims of conversion practices. The Commission said on the 13th of May that the extending of the list of EU crimes would require a unanimous decision from countries, and a lot of those countries have even banned the conversion therapy, and for conversion practice to meet the criteria set out by the provision. And although it cannot be excluded that certain forced conversion practices fulfill the criterion, only a small proportion of such practices are likely to do so, it said. The organizers of the campaign see this as a missed opportunity. Matteo Gargiulo, co-president of the European Association Against Conversion Therapy and representative of European Citizens Initiative, also also criticized the Commission's argument that a legal ban would have taken too long. It's going to take the same time with non-binding resolution, because at the end of the day, if the state wants to ban it, it bans it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Gargillo told Politico. Indeed, if you just make an outright forced law, it'll actually happen. If you just say, oh, you can do it if you want, no pressure. Well, if there's no pressure, no one's going to do it. What does it matter? It doesn't care. It's just a suggestion. So there's your news. The EU is kind of limp dick about protecting people from crazy, what I want to say is crazy religious extremists who think, you know, they can do whatever they want because of their religion. We can shock your brain because of religion. Yeah, we can torture you because you're bad.
And we go back to the
gods and Satan's rules, you know, not your rules. You don't have to do that. It's not your problem.
Oligarchs are always fishing, man. The oligarchs are always fishing. I blame the oligarchs. Mm-hmm. The oligarchs are like fishermen. They don't, right? They don't know what all they're really fishing for is a way to divide us, right? Yeah, let's find a way to make other people hate other people that they don't even know. I know. We'll marginalize these people that are already marginalized, and we'll make sure that they're make fear they're going to take over. So yeah, they're just fishing for controversies. Nobody's biting on that one. Oh, we got somebody in transgender. Fun. Yep, there's your metaphor with acting and visuals.
A fishing rod. All right, that's my only story. So let's get into
we got a big
this
politician.
Day.
We got a big fat whale of a politician this time. 13. I do have a video. I just got to figure out where you want to start it because it's a little bit longer. So we're gonna do this day in history. Not this day in history. We're gonna do the list. The list. I am not listless today.
Our segue is associate.
Associate it with, that'd be language. Language is always changing. We know that as English speakers. What meant something 5 years ago doesn't mean what it means now. If you try to use it, well, I don't know what you're going to get. You might get in a fight. But, for instance, bad used to mean bad. That's all it meant. That's really bad. And at some point, it meant good. I wasn't aware of this when it happened, but it happened during my lifetime. Really. So, also sick. Another one of those words, sick. I'm sick, or that's sick. Sick is now a good thing. That is sick the way that guy can drive, or that guy can play the horn or something, you know. It's really sick, which is a good thing. So again, language is weird. And one of the things that got me wondering about this was the word gas. The word gas is used in a lot of songs in the 60s. You can get rid of culture, all of the culture of the 60s, but you can't get rid of the music. It sticks around forever. And they end up using words like, I know Bob Dylan used gas a lot too. Bob Dylan used gas because it rhymes with a lot of things. Rolling Stones used it. Jumpin' Jack Flash is a gas, gas, gas. And it's like, what the hell does that mean? And of course, a gas is our first word because we're not going to start talking about a word and then forget it. The word gas is our number one word. And of course, it means a good time, a really good time. I think possibly that was associated with laughing gas at some point, right? Nitrous oxide will get you really high. And hey, you'll just be so damn happy. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what it came from. But gas nowadays would probably be transferable to what would you say? To what word? Something that's really, really fun. That's more of a modern word.
Man. I didn't know this was going to be a quiz. I'm not really up to date.
We talked. I thought you had a word, and we talked.
That's an old word. Before. I didn't know. I did not know you wanted me to come up words. So I just.
I don't. I
don't know any slang right now.
No, just ask you. Don't feel picked on. It's not a thing. So, not a thing at all. So don't worry about that. But my word would be tits, and I brought this up earlier. Tits. That was the '70s word for gas. That thing is tits. It was really a gas. So that's what they really meant by that. It's really outstanding, amazing. I would love to do this for the rest of my life. It's a gas. That's what it is. Anyway, number 2, we're going through the G's first. And this one started with records, I believe. Groovy. Why was something groovy? Because, well, a record at the time was called In the Groove, right? If it's in the groove, it's groovy, because a record has grooves. That has to be it, right? That has to be where it came from. I cannot think of any other origination for the word groovy, but of course, groovy just meant very cool at the time, right? It's like a very specific, that's really a groovy sound. Never used anymore. It was also used in songs. Groovy Kind of Love was the one, right? Plus, Feeling Groovy was a big hit for Simon and Garfunkel. Feeling groovy. Now, if somebody asked you if you were feeling groovy, what would you say? What the hell's groovy? And groovy's number 2, in case I didn't turn my board around. Number 2.
Feeling
number
hyped,
3 is
I guess,
G.
is what I would say. I don't know.
There's one that was used in England. I never even heard it until I heard a Beatles recording for their Christmas message to their fan club, right? And they told everybody to have a really gear year. The word is gear. I never heard it until then. I said, wow, gear? What the hell does that mean? Gear, I guess, basically means the same as cool, groovy, super hip, you know, but also fashionable, right? Gear. Gear is the shit you're wearing, right? So if you're gear, you are fashionable. You're cool and fashionable if you're gear. So as far as I know, and again, I was a child in the 60s and I was not in London, although we absorbed a lot of their culture, gear means fashionable. Number 4, if you had some great ideas and you were blowing people's mind, or even if you just had some acid, you were far out. Far out. That means you weren't anywhere near any of us. You're just out there, right? Far out is a place to be mentally, not a place to be physically, but far out. I'm out there. I'm far out. Or that idea is very interesting. It's far out, man. Nobody says far out anymore. Bring back far out just to fuck with people. That's what I say. Number 5. What do you say when you need some money? What do you say? I need some grain. I need some Benjamins. That was a big one. I need Benjamins. And people are like, oh, it's a Benjamin. But back in the 50s, they called it bread. Yeah, bread was legitimately what you subsisted on when you're poor. And again, the barter system, right? I need bread. I legitimately need bread. But in order to buy bread, I need money. So we're just transferring it over to the barter system, which is bread. Give me some bread. Because if they literally gave you bread, it would just get moldy in a week and you would have no money. So you don't necessarily want bread, but back in the 60s, lay some bread on me. Lay some bread on me. Hip cat. Cat was a jazz term, by the way, from the 30s, I believe. People said cat back then, too. They said chicks and cat.
He's a cool cat. Yep, that's what they used to say.
60s. And if you understood what the hell people were talking about, that meant you dig it. I dig it. I dig what you're saying. I think the newest term for dig is fuck with. I fuck with that. And that's exactly what it means.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
People say to clean up and say I mess with that, but it's like I fuck with that. I was like, really? You fuck with that? Let me see it. Let me see you fuck with that. I want to see you actually fuck. Oh, it's not literally. Okay. Anyway, so dig, I dig. Oh, you dig? I dig. Dig's a lot shorter. I don't know why that one never went away. But if you dig, you definitely dig. Number 7. What am I wearing? What are these called? What are these called right here? What are these? What am I wearing? What is this? What is this?
I don't know. I can only think of the Dutch word.
Ensemble. What is my 1970s ensemble of psychedelic shirts, bell-bottom pants? What is that? It's called my threads. I got my threads. Yeah, that's right, buddy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about your
nowadays,
shirt.
I don't know if anybody calls them the thread. Yeah, I got my threads. Okay. That's right. Nobody calls them threads. If you call them threads, they're going to check your birth certificate. Yes, you were born in 1926 because you're calling them threads. Because, yeah, there's nobody calls them that anymore. They do call shoes kicks. I don't know if that's been replaced with anything else, but shoes are called kicks.
My
that's
fit
kind of a version
is
of
what
thread.
that's what you would say now. This is my fit.
Yeah, okay. But your threads, I got my threads. Yeah, I got my bell bottoms. I'm dropping my acid, and I'm smoking my marijuana cigarettes. And I got my threads. Number 7 is threads. Number 8, the Beatles. Capitalized in this one, but it did exist before they were called the Fab Four, and it's the word fab. Fab was a British word, almost exclusively British, but they were in the 60s too, and it did originate a lot of our sayings. But fab, the Fab Four, right? They had to have the alliteration of the Fab Four. The Rolling Stones were at the Fab Five, though. That's interesting. But fab, it's just short for fabulous. You look fabulous. So basically, fab is just anything really cool, really great. Hip. Hip is always going to be the thing. Hip. We say hip. We still say hip. I don't know why. Number 9 is maybe a tick above fab. It's boss, right? It's that thing is so fab, it's boss. It's the boss of the fabs, I think.
I've never
that
heard
thing
that
is really
one.
boss. Yeah, there you go. That's how it disappeared in the 60s. It comes up as, that's a really boss looking car. That's a really boss. Kind of goes with tits. Kind of the same thing. That's really tits. Again, a lot of these are superlatives for things that are great. Not a whole lot of downers on this list. Not a whole lot of downers. Not any downers. Because we want to give superlatives of things we enjoy. And if you enjoyed the place you lived, where did you live in the 1960s? If you were a single happening person, where did you live? Where did you live? You lived in your
Paradise?
pad.
Oh.
You lived in your pad, man. You didn't have an apartment. You had a pad, like a frog. You were a frog. You were a frog and you had a pad. That's all I can come up with that. Had to come from the frog kingdom. I can't blame Kermit, because Kermit wasn't a thing until the late 60s. So, pad. I guess. Nobody says, hey, you want to go back to my swinging bachelor pad? I don't even think that made it into the 70s. Might have, but it didn't last. So your swinging bachelor pad with you and Andy Warhol and all your yippie friends, Jerry Rubin and so forth, you're going to have your swinging bachelor pad. I don't know. Number 11, when something is really, I guess solid. It sounds like a great word, but it wasn't really like, nobody says solid. Why, that's a solid answer. That's a solid way to go through things. It just seems like one of those words that, solid. That's a real solid, right? That's a very positive word, isn't it? Solid. I don't trust that thing. It's solid. You never say that. You say, I really trust it. It's solid, right? So the hippies took it into everything that is trustworthy and everything that is true is solid. That's some real solid information. And I don't think that's even used anymore. Number 12, we used far out earlier, and I wanted to go back to it. I don't want to go directly back to it, but I'm going back to it. Sometimes things were so far out, they were out of sight. They were so far out, they're out of sight. That's far out. And the very next thing you said, what you say was, that was so far out, it was out of sight. And so, since it's so far out, it's out of sight, it's something you cannot comprehend at all. So, far out, you can kind of get with it and freak out. Out of sight is like, oh my God, my mind is blown. And where was your mind blown to? It's blown to where it's at. Yeah. Do you know where it's at? Has anybody ever asked you that? Do you know where it's at? Where what is at? It. That's what. It. Do you know where it is at? Do you know where it is at? Of course, that is where it's at is the current. What do you want to call the current feeling of the world? What do you call that world? The zeitgeist, right? Where it's at right now is hating on. In other words, where it's at right now is hating on data centers. Whether you're liberal or conservative, you hate data centers. That's where it's at in 2026 with the 60s lingo.
Ooh.
And Bob Dylan used that in Like a Rolling Stone. He's like, he really wasn't where it's at after he took from you everything he could steal. And where it's at 1966 was where it's at. Bob Dylan was where it's at 1966, in other words. But his biggest hit, like a Rolling Stone. Let's have us, oh shoot, I didn't write you down. Did I?
Associate. My associate will be, well, I mean, I kind of already did this during, was it before or after? I don't remember. But yeah, a lot of words get changed. A lot of, I'm not really, I'm not really in high school anymore. I'm not talking to Dutch kids on a regular or ever, really. So I have no idea what the phrases are now. But I think Robert told me one of the phrases that a lot of kids are using right now in the Netherlands is, it gives, which, that water gives wet. It gives wet. That outfit you're wearing, it gives homeless.
That water gives...
Yeah, that's what you would say.
Oh, that's a Dutch English translation of it? Okay,
yeah, a lot of the lingo, because Dutch people are so, I don't want to say Americanized, but
radiate.
I mean, Dutch people are known for speaking English the best in Europe. Not that they speak it perfectly, but I think because of that, because a lot of them understand English, they consume English media a lot, so a lot of their slang ends up being American or English. Like England.
I don't know.
UK slang.
I don't know. I don't know if other languages have thesauruses like the United States has for our English, because there's words that mean 50 different things, right?
Yes.
Because it's 50 different synonyms for like every word. Mm-hmm. Do other countries have that? I can't imagine they have it as voluminous as us, because we changed meaning to words. Yeah. Yeah.
They do.
So, okay.
That's not a special American thing.
Well, I just know American language changes.
Too.
This is just an example. Well, this is just an example of American English and British English changing so much that these words are not in use anymore. So,
I don't know what the name for the thesaurus is. Samenwerder?
And another thing to...
I don't know what that would be. I don't know what a thesaurus is called.
People find Bibles are hidden documents from thousands of years ago, and they try to translate them into modern English, which is futility, because words don't mean the same as they used to mean.
Synonym.
That's just simple fact.
Synonym word book. That's what it's called. It's not called a thesaurus, which I think is probably a Latin word. So, let's look up a random word.
Yeah, probably. The thesaurus is
so here's an example. Heck, which is also used for, it's kind of like an insult.
Now you're on a tangent. Did we
Well, you're
spin the
asking
wheel?
a question. I'm answering your question. You asked a question. So heck is kind of like you're being kind of foolish. It's kind of just like bizarre. And I guess that's what it's usually used for. But it can be used for like insane, foolish, wiring chimney cover. I did not know that was called that too.
There you go.
So to stop flies getting into your chimney, you put a wiring cover over. Insane, foolish, controversial. It could be controversial, like you believe in abortion. That's heck. That is heck. Heck. That's it. Because I'm speaking English all day.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's a bunch of different synonyms. Synonyms.
Yeah, I like some cinnamon.
Idiot, merkwaardig, vreemd, zonderling, uitzinning, belachelijk, bespooktelijk. Oh, bespooktelijk is like, okay. Bizarre is just bizarre. It's the same word. Wonderlijk, onzinning, typisch. Oh, that's more like that. Yeah, no, that is one. Absurd is also just the same word in English. Getikt. Yeah, there's so many words for this one word. It just keeps going. If I read the whole list, we'll be here for hours. Did you give me an applause or anything? I didn't hear anything.
Oh, were you doing something that was associating, or is that what you were doing here?
Do you remember when I
okay.
said that Dutch kids say...
Sorry. I fell
Dutch
asleep
kids
on the
say stuff?
soundboard.
Hypothetical. Wait, you've already done a hypothetical today. Respin.
Hopefully it's not hard.
It's a haiku. That's not too difficult.
See what I wrote down? I wrote down haiku before you spend it. Told you I had clairvoyance.
Hopefully you can get some clairvoyance on when to I should edit this video you're sending me. Okay, this next story is coming out of our culture news. And the drug counselor who gave Matthew Perry his fatal, or I guess hooked him up. He didn't give it to him, but he hooked him up with the supplier for the fatal ketamine, has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. This is from Theo Ferrand and AP on Euro News Culture. The counselor admitted that he connected the actor to a dealer prosecutors dubbed the Ketamine Queen, later cooperating with investigators after being tracked down months after Perry's death. He went into hiding, but they still found him. A licensed drug addiction counselor provided drugs to somebody and then they died. Wow, that's a corruption everywhere. Who delivered the ketamine doses that killed Matthew Perry was sentenced Wednesday, the 13th of May, to 2 years in prison. Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett handed down the sentence to Eric Fleming, 56, at a federal court in Los Angeles for his role in Friends star tragic 23 death. It's truly a nightmare I can't wake up from, Fleming said in a deep, somber voice from the podium before sentencing. I'm haunted by the mistakes I made. Fleming connected Perry to Jasveen Sangha, dubbed the Ketamine Queen by prosecutors, delivering drugs from her home to Perry's, marking them up for profit. Sangha was sentenced last month to 15 years. Fleming's attorney, Robert Dugdale, told the judge that he had handed over the Ketamine Queen on a silver platter. They didn't have a clue who she was before that day, Dugdale said. So we got a plea deal, basically. You tell it to the Ketamine Queen and we can promise you we'll have a short stint in prison. Of course, you're going to be a rat who ratted out the Ketamine Queen, but he would likely have gotten about 4 years in prison if it weren't for his cooperation. The prosecution said he deserved credit for doing the right thing, but argued that he did so only when confronted and cornered by authorities. Yet again, he went into hiding. Nobody knew where he was. They were looking for him. Mr. Fleming didn't cooperate because he had a benevolent motive, or because he wanted justice for Mr. Perry. Assistant U.S. Ian Ianniello said he wanted to save himself. The judge also pointed out that Fleming didn't come forward in the months after Perry's death, and that the investigators might have gotten the same information he gave them simply through the seizure of his phone. But all agreed that his cooperation sped up and smoothed out the investigation. Fleming became the first defendant to plead guilty in August 24, admitting to the distribution of ketamine resulting in death. He told the judge it was an act of desperation in the midst of the worst time of my life. I'm the victim. You're not dead, Fleming. Shut the fuck up. Outside the courthouse, he said, my chest hurt and heart hurt every day for the pain I caused, not only his family, but the millions of people who adored him. And that somebody died. You're a hand in his death. Perry had received legal ketamine treatments for depression and sought additional supply through a friend who introduced him to Fleming. I know, and that's really bad, right? I feel like he should go into jail for another thing, which is being a drug funneler or something. I don't know. It sounds like he's supposed to be somebody who helps people with addiction. Somebody connected him, saying, yeah, I know a good addiction counselor who basically gives you drugs for free. That's not good. That's not good on his his reputation's probably scuffed anyways, but if you're the guy who's known for hooking people up with drugs who are addicts, maybe aren't a great place. Fleming, a former film and TV producer whose career had been derailed by addiction before he became a counselor. Fleming said he was in the midst of a major relapse through his own life struggles. He got ketamine from Sangha and took it to Perry's house, where he sold it to the actor's live-in personal assistant, Kenneth Massa. His deliveries included 25 vials of 6,000 $4 days before Perry's death. Iwamasa injected Perry from the batch on October 28, 23. Later found him dead. The medical examiner determined Perry died from acute effects of ketamine, with drowning as a secondary cause. Yeah, he drowned to death because he was high on ketamine. The 2.5-year investigation and prosecution that resulted should come to close in 2 weeks with the sentencing of Iwamasa, who was yet again a live-in assistant. So where was he? You know? So there's also some guilt there for what he was up to. Anyway, I guess some justice, even though it's petty justice, for a guy who probably did this to other people, right? Hooked up other people with drugs. And luckily for him, they didn't die. Or maybe they did die, they just weren't famous, you know? My cousin Fred or whatever, died of ketamine overdose. But he doesn't have billions of fans all over the world, so he's not going to get any justice. Or maybe now he has got some justice. Allegedly, there's no allegedly. This did not happen. I have no proof that there's somebody who also died from this guy, but just saying, if you are known for helping people get drugs, you're probably not a great guy in your career. That's all.
Yep. Too bad you didn't roll a song, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For this.
Hello, Lynn.
Ketamine Queen. Ketamine Queen just fits right in with Caribbean Queen, right? Ketamine Queen. Now we're sharing the same dream. Getting high all the time. I don't know. Okay, so my haiku, if you're done, I'm sorry. My haiku is ready.
I am done.
I shout, what do we call it? A callback to show Friends and their theme song. Remember the theme song? So here's the haiku. I'll be there for you with a fresh ketamine fix. You're there for me too. There you go.
It is funny though. It is funny. I can't deny
Ketamine
that.
Queen's funny. Ketamine Queen's intentionally funny. You give somebody a name like that, you gotta, it just leads right to the song. You can see the comments right away. You just look in the comment. Billy Ocean wrote a song about her. Yeah. Billy Ocean. I mean, it kind of
sucks for her though, right? Because it's not like her drugs killed him explicitly. Like she didn't lace him with something and then he overdosed, right? He passed out in a bathtub and drowned to death, or in a pool, or in a hot tub, right, and drowned, right? And it's unlucky for her because she was probably passing out ketamine to people all for years, and then this one guy decided to go in a hot tub, and her life's ruined.
Yeah, and this shit only happens when famous people die. Have you noticed that? Michael Jackson's doctor went to prison. They never thought. Yeah. I wonder why they never thought about putting Elvis's doctor in prison. Maybe they thought about it, and maybe he just knew too many skeletons, right? That politicians had. It's like, well, you know what? I've been prescribing that to the judge for years, and he doesn't care about that. And his wife's hooked on this. He's probably got too many stuff in his closet. But the Michael Jackson doctor couldn't blackmail anybody, apparently. So there, I sent you a video. And we can do this day in history. Did I tell you where it started? I started at 2:10. In case I didn't tell you, I don't know if I told you or not. Where it started. I don't remember.
I'll do
ahead of my mind.
Alliteration headline. I had to re-roll because I got to tell a joke again. Take it away to this day in history.
As Cajun man would say, alliteration. That's my Adam Sandler shout out. Alliteration about all the headlines I've got from the world of history. And how far are we going back? I always surprise myself. I don't necessarily look at this in advance, except for maybe look for birthdays, which I found a birthday today that we're going to celebrate. But our history stuff, I never look at we're only going back to 1607, and we know what happened in 1607 in Virginia. The story of Pocahontas began. That's right. The first permanent British settlement in North America was founded in Jamestown, Virginia, in 1607. And apparently still Europeans in Virginia to this very day. I've checked on it. 1643, four-year-old Louis XIV ascended to the throne of France, and of course, immediately needed his binky. Somebody get the king's binky. He needs his binky. I'm sorry, I love the binky joke. I will always go back to the binky joke when you're talking about a young king that obviously cannot rule a country at 4. A 4-year-old doesn't know anything, okay? Just to let you all know that. 1771, Robert Owen, a manufacturer turned reformer, was one of the most influential utopian socialists of the early 19th century. He was born in Newton, Wales. What happened to him? His utopia never materialized. 1796, Edward Jenner administered the first vaccination against smallpox. That's right. Smallpox was a thing. Vaccinations were a thing over 200 years ago. 230 years ago. Exact. 1804, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark embarked on St. Louis, Missouri, on the expedition to explore the Louisiana Purchase and the Pacific Northwest. They were accompanied by about 4 dozen men, including York, an enslaved man who was the only African American on the journey. And let's not forget Sacagawea, who ended up on our money. In 1948, Israel declared its independence, which was soon recognized by the United States and the Soviet Union. Actually, that's not the way it was. I love how Britannica just shades the truth for everybody. In reality, the Soviet Union approved Israel's classification as a legitimate state, right? Soviet Union did it before the United States to show up the United States. And the only reason the United States did it is because the Soviet Union did it. And that's a fact. Because if the United States was all interested in declaring Israel a sovereign state, they would have done it first. And they've been spending all of this time playing catch up. And all the Soviet Union hasn't done anything for Israel other than try to furnish their enemies with weapons. But the United States has been kissing their ass ever since Soviet Union declared Israel a country. That is so. And the thing, people actually still think the United States did it first, according to Britannica. It says it was recognized this day by the United States and the Soviet Union and other governments. Nope, not in that order, folks. Look it up. The Soviet Union did it and forced the United States' hand on it. That's all that really happened here. It wasn't like, oh, we have a conscience all of a sudden. Nope, that wasn't it. It was Russia. The same reason we went to the moon, Russia. The same reason we have Trump for a president, Russia. 1973, Skylab, the first U.S. space station, was launched. Russians probably already had one, and that's the reason we did that, right? So there you go. 1984, Mark Zuckerberg was hatched, and somewhere in New York State, he came out of his pod.
Hatched.
He's a clone. He was cloned by Joseph Mengele for one of his subjects, and programmed by the Nazis to fascism throughout America. So happy Hatch Day to Mark Zuckerberg. 1998, the last episode of the television sitcom Seinfeld. We were talking about Friends, because Friends kind of was the show after Seinfeld and kind of took over its mantle as the show you must watch on NBC. That's basically Seinfeld took over. No, that's kind of the way it worked. That is kind of the way it worked, right? Because Seinfeld, I think, took over for Cheers, which took over for Cosby, right? So it kind of went that way. Anywho, 1998 was the year that last Seinfeld was aired, and they all ended up in jail at the end of it. Not all of them, just the 4 main characters. 1998, American singer and actor Frank Sinatra died.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. American singer and actor Frank Sinatra, who through his long career and very public personal life became the most sought-after performance in the entertainment industry. You know what Frank Sinatra is. I don't know, read a book or something. Anyway, he died today at the age of 82. Famously tied to the mob. And well, I'll never understand why, again, his son, right after JFK was assassinated, Frank Sinatra's son, Frank Sinatra Jr., was kidnapped, right, for ransom. He was found by the police after they located him in the trunk of a car, and the police drove him to Frank Sinatra's house. He was still in the trunk of the car the whole time he was driving. I do not understand why you would do that to Frank Sinatra's son, unless he was kidnapped by the mob, and that's probably what was happening. And they never say they got some sucker to go to prison for it, but yeah. The mob kidnapped his son to keep him quiet about something. We don't know what. 25th, but we know he kept quiet for it, right? We found out. 2015, American guitarist B.B. King died of age 89. So Frank Sinatra died at the age of 82. B.B. King, who had diabetes and was one of the founders of blues, the blues section of rock and roll, if you want to know what blues came from. B.B. King, Mr. Memphis, died at the age of 89 in 2015. So he outlived Frank Sinatra by 7 years. You know, he probably didn't really take care of himself. 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Murphy versus National Collegiate Association that the federal government could not prevent states from authorizing sports gambling. And woohoo! Now gambling is taking off like a mother. Today will be the day when most bets were placed in the history of the world, and tomorrow will beat that record. That's how popular gambling is. You're not going to stop people from gambling. Stop pretending you can. And so, thanks to that ruling, to this day I can get on my phone and lose all my money on one horse race. Because, yeah, freedom. Anyway, but don't do that. Don't gamble on shit you have no knowledge of. It's stupid. The stock market, by the way, is gambling. Legalized. And it's always been legalized. It's nothing but gambling. It's absolutely nothing but gambling. That stock you're buying is not worth anything. It's only worth what people will pay for it. And you're the one that set the price when you bought it. And the price may not go up. It's going to stay where you bought it for the rest of the time, or maybe go down. So that's what the stock market is. 1932, citizens demand beer on this day. That's right, damn it. On this day, 1932, nearly 100,000 people paraded down Fifth Avenue in New York City chanting, "We want beer." This ain't gonna happen in Utah because they don't serve it. The demonstration led by the city's mayor, who was intended to show lawmakers just how strongly public sentiment had turned against prohibition, which had made the manufacture, sale, import, and transport of alcohol illegal in the United States. Within a year, Americans could legally buy beer again. They had to invent something called near beer. It had almost no alcohol in it. Anyway, probably tasted the same. Our feature biography is Margaret of Valois. Valois? V-A-L-O-I-S. Valois? I don't even pronounce her S's in France. She was the queen consort of Navarre. Navarre who? I don't know what that means. She was married to the king, I imagine. Anyway, she was born on May 14th, 1553 in Saint-Germain-en-Laye. I don't know how to say that. Paris. She died in Paris on March 27th, 1615 to age 61. And we're remembering her reasons unknown. 1944, George Lucas's birthday. Happy birthday to the guy who started Star Wars and American Graffiti. Don't forget that. That was his I think it might have been his second movie, his American Graffiti. His first movie was Duel, which was Dennis Weaver trying to outrun a semi for the whole entire movie. Just Dennis Weaver was the only actor in the movie trying to outrun a semi for like an hour and a half. That was it. It was called Duel. And I don't know how he ever had enough gas to do that. But the movie was great as a piece, right? It didn't go anywhere necessarily. Also, the birthday of David Byrne, who was born in Scotland on this day in 1952. And interdisciplinary artist, they call him. Interdisciplinary, all right. Sounds like he's disciplining people, doesn't it? 1952 is the birthday of Robert Zemeckis. I think he made Silence of the Lambs. American director and screenwriter. It's also Kate Blanchett's birthday. Blanchett, who also played Bob Dylan among her other roles, born in 1969. And we already celebrated Mark Zuckerberg the day he presented himself to his lab technicians from his pod. So Today is also National. Oh, so I accidentally clicked on today. Okay, here we go. Okay, today is National Days. A lot of damn things today. Holy crap! It is. Oh my goodness! National Defense Transportation Day, NASCAR Day. We need a NASCAR day on Wednesday. There's no races on Wednesday. National Bike to Work Day. That's cool. I've done that a couple of times. I did it in Oregon a couple of times for sure. National Endangered Species Day. That should be every Malcolm X Day. He's very endangered. Malcolm X Day is his birthday and didn't tell me.
He's endangered?
It's Peace Officers Memorial Day. Well, he's very endangered. National Nylon Stocking Day. National Pizza Party Day. National Chocolate Chip Day. National Bring Flowers to Someone Day. Maybe to, I don't know, an endangered species. And that's everything for today. Unfortunately, all that stuff for Thursday, May 15th, on before peace parties and chocolate chips. And it's also National Defense Transportation Day. Holy crap. It's a lot of crap for a Wednesday.
Wednesday in May.
Shoot.
Thursday in May.
Thursday. Yeah. Thursday. Yeah. Definitely not Wednesday. Yeah. So it's like, maybe it's because it's the 14th. I don't know. What's the significance of that? Either way, that's everything. Let's have us,
well, I'm not ready yet because I have to edit this video.
All these headlines should read. Okay, so I could do more. I could actually tell you why it's Malcolm X Day, because Britannica was not recognizing his birthday. Well, Britannica.
Maybe he was killed today. That wasn't on there either. That would have been on there.
Oh, no, that isn't it. They wouldn't make it Malcolm X Day. It would be all that absurd. That would be wrong. I don't know. Okay, those official birthdays, May 19th. That's why we didn't mention it. We honor it today on third Friday. Okay. All right. Here's the problem with this. It says it's the third Friday in May, and today's Thursday. It's definitely not the third Friday in May. It is the...
Are you on the right day?
It's the second Tuesday. No, I just looked at it. It says National Day, and it says right at the top, it says Friday. It says tomorrow is Friday, May 5th. Okay, let me do this again. All right, never mind. Good thing I checked with that, because it is a lot of different things today. So we'll do this again. It's National Dance Like a Chicken Day. Hey, you don't have to do it tomorrow now. Well, the thing is, this comes up. It's like saved now to when I open the browser. It's saved to one of my home pages, but it's saved on yesterday's day for some reason. So I clicked tomorrow, and I must have clicked it again, and it went to Friday. I don't know. National Dance Like a Chicken Day. And National Decency Day. And if you're decent, you won't be dancing like a chicken. It's National Buttermilk Biscuit Day, and it's National Underground America Day. This is for all these people that are building their bomb shelters and their survivalists out there, and all these people that are buying their food from PatriotWhatever.com. It's always Patriot this or Patriot that. I didn't buy anything from anybody who puts Patriot in their title. I think they're completely full of shit. Anybody puts Patriot in their title is full of shit. Full of shit. I will never buy anything from you. You ain't a patriot. You're a marketer. That's what you are. Anyway, the Patriot.com people, their food supplies you need because the world's coming to an end, and you're gonna sit in your shotgun in your bunker and never have a life again while you wait for the world to end for 40 years. Those pathetic losers. Live a life, man. Don't spend your entire time living in a bunker. What the hell is that? That's not a life. That's pathetic, man. I had more respect for you if you ran around naked in the street. Let's have something. Ready? Can we get a...
That was it. So that was the only. Those are the only days for the actual today.
Yeah, tomorrow's a shitload though. Tomorrow's a
Okay,
complete
well that
ass
makes more
load.
sense for a Friday.
Thursday is only 4 things, so that's your situations and everything for Thursday, May 14th, 2026. 4 buttermilk biscuits and chicken dance.
Yeah,
Definitely do
eat some chicken dance.
Before you go to your underground bunker, you better be doing that chicken dance down there. And it's national decency.
That's what you actually are, because you're hiding.
It's national. Okay, let's have this alliteration if you did one. If not, I'll do one for you. I don't know.
All right, our first alliteration is Beer Thirsty Battalions, boldly beckon for brews. I couldn't say I was getting a tongue twister. Kate's captivating charisma creates colorful characters, consistently conquering. Consistently conquering. I can't speak. And let's flap frolically freely like Fabulous Fowl in a fun-filled funhouse as chickens. Or I should say, frolically Fabulous Fowl. And there are no international UN observances today, so continue that plant health and celebrating Argan trees and bird migratory day from Saturday, because I don't think chickens migrate.
And get some buttermilk biscuits. Buttermilk biscuits.
Ducks and geese do. Geese are good. Ducks and geese are nice. This has been Alison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we finish off another Thursday's 13 with our 13 list. I hope you enjoyed our 1960s slang terms, and let us know down below in the comments if you have any words that relate to the ones we mentioned. And of course, if you're not already following on the Before Coffee Podcast channel on Twitch and the Before Coffee Podcast channel on YouTube, please do that. We love the number going up and not going down, and appreciate that very much. We appreciate everyone who's already here for the live stream and following and chatting with us and listening to us rant for 10 minutes about data centers. And of course, our Patreon supporters, our Before Coffee Patreon supporters. Here is our burned mic drop moment.
In the show, you perform some Talking Head
Happy
songs
birthday
like
to
Psycho Killer.
Scotland's own David Byrne.
Do those songs feel different in the context of today than when you first performed them?
Oh, my goodness.
Of course they do.
The second one, Life During Wartime, yes.
Time changes.
We have, I licensed some ice footage to show at the very end, very end of the song. If we showed it for the whole song, it'd be kind of sad, depressing. But we show it at the very end, and we start off.
Some people do that. I've seen protest.
Looked like a delivery guy on a
scenes
bike
in an entire music video,
being chased by the ice guys, and he gets away.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah.
He is.
In Chicago,
Yeah.
Weaving.
I've probably seen that
Chicago,
one.
we debuted that clip because they kept coming. They kept coming in Chicago.
That show
John was there.
Like biggest, coolest reaction I've ever seen of a live audience ever.
John Mole.
Incredible.
You've also created a
Mulvaney.
immersive show
for his
at the Goodman Theater in
addiction
Chicago
comedy,
called Theater
which
of
is
the
interesting
Mind.
because we're talking about Matthew Perry.
It's about how we form our identities through our memories and our perception, and it follows a guide, an actor, who takes you through a
Our
series
past
of rooms
defines us.
that represent that actor's life, going backwards.
That's what it's not on stage. You're actually going through.
You're going through rooms. It's in like a warehouse kind of space.
Yeah.
And it works.
Have you attended it?
I attended it very recently. I saw it.
Imagine just like, we made a cool show, but I didn't go to it. Yeah.
And the second one, a woman was sobbing by the last room. She told me she loved the show.
When they're a child.
It touched something personal in her. And so I was simultaneously kind of pleased, but also thought, well,
a lot of people don't face the fact that they got older and they've changed and they've grown, and it's very introspective to do that, and a lot of people are too scared to.
I do have one of the actresses told me a story.
Because you could bawl out crying.
Immersive shows, actor is very close.
I don't want to look at it, old
You
guy.
are to me. And in one, in one room,
wonder if David
a
feels
husband
the
and
same
wife
way.
Were in the audience, and the
I
husband
don't know,
winked at
he's-
the actor, and
He seems like he doesn't
the wife
let
noticed.
anything slow him down.
She was not real happy about that.
Well, she should be happy.
So when they finish in that room and getting ready to go to the next room,
cares?
the actress opens a door and said, "Are you coming with me?" And the woman goes, "I'm not going with you, bitch."
Jealous as hell. Yeah.
They say if you can touch one person, it's worth it.
Oh boy.
She took it. She took it a little too
Thank you for
close
doing
to
a
heart.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Protecting whatever she thinks
From
she
the album,
has
what are you
or
gonna be
something.
doing?
I'm going to do a song called "When We Are Singing." What is it? Well, the beginning of it.
We're not going to hear the song. It's probably
Of
copyright.
course
I
not.
usually don't like writing songs.
It's also
about-
on a different video. That's usually
my
how they make
business.
these talk show videos, right? They make like
It'll
10
be-
videos
it'll be the next-
for one episode.
There's a reason.
We don't know.
There's a
they
reason
look
he
kinda
dressed
funny.
all in blue. It's the uniform of the song.
You can't tell if they're in ecstasy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they just have their mouth open. You don't know if they're in ecstasy or if somebody stepped on their toe or they saw something
They're
horrible.
shocked. Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sure. It's all the same look.
We look forward to watching you do that. David, thank you.
Let's
I wanna
see
thank my
David in
co-host, John
ecstasy.
Mulaney. Tickets
Yeah, you just ran all the way to the
on
end.
sale now.
Okay,
Right
that's
back
cool.
to the performance by David
That's the easiest
Byrne.
edit there
You
is,
didn't
right?
tell
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons. And follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.
I
We're
will
back.
have to excuse myself quite. I have to excuse myself
Abruptly.
quite quickly. I have to use the bathroom.
Oh, we were gonna do
Abruptly.
that what kind of mutant are you quiz, and now we can't do it. Because we're gonna find
Kind of
out where your mutant powers
Are
are gonna
you?
be. You're right. You
Let's
wish you were a
have it. How
mutant.
long does the quiz take?
I can find a really short one. Here we go. We'll say which kind of X-Men mutant are you? Sorry, we can only use previously. Well, this one's kind of stupid. Sorry, this one's dumb because it's just like a really easy way to like force an answer.
I'm about to be
What's your
Diaper
favorite
Boy.
X-Men? Diaper Boy. All right, let's start the quiz. What's your best thing? Leadership, your mind, your instincts, or your stealth?
Jeez, my best thing.
It just
Can I have
quick
those?
answers, which one you
My
like
mind.
the most?
My mind.
Telekinesis,
questions are there,
telepathy,
first of all?
super strength, shapeshifting. Super strength and healing, I should say.
Was telekinesis
Telekinesis,
is similar to
telepathy.
Clairvoyance, can't clairvoyance be?
Super strength and healing, shapeshifting. That's the only
Telekinesis,
questions I got.
Telepathy is being able to transmit your thoughts. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have clairvoyance.
No, but
that's not.
if you would choose to have a power,
let's go
which one you
telepathy.
want? Okay.
It would be telepathy.
Who is the most badass? Professor X, Cyclops, Wolverine, or Magneto?
I only know who Wolverine is, so I don't know the rest of
Magneto's
them.
the one who does the metal bending. He was like born in or he wasn't born, but he discovered he was a mutant inside of a concentration camp. Professor X, of course, is the bald guy who played by Patrick Stewart, and Cyclops is the one with the laser eyes.
Wolverine. I don't know the rest of them. I only watched.
Wolverine's
I
the
had the
most
Fantastic Four.
Which
The
female
Fantastic
character
Four,
do you
I
find the
know
most
them.
attractive? Halle Berry as Storm. I can't remember who plays Rogue. Jean Grey, who's like a redhead, or Mystique, who's always blue and naked. Rogue is
I only
like a
know
country
who
girl
Halle
with a
Berry
white
is.
stripe in her hair. Halle Berry? Okay.
Halle Berry,
is-
because I don't know who those other people
He's
are.
the most attractive. Who is the most despicable villain? You don't know any of these. Apocalypse. His name's Apocalypse. Magneto, yet again, metal bending, basically. Dark Phoenix is basically Jean Grey, and then also possessed by an alien. Or Sabretooth, which is Wolverine's, like, I don't know if they're actually his actual brother or like his brother in arms. He looks like
Ming
he
the
has
Merciless.
any of those
Ming the
guys.
Merciless
Who's the
from
worst?
Flash Gordon.
Those aren't the
Ming the
options.
Merciless in there.
I gave you the
Well,
4 options.
The enemy of who was the enemy
Patrick
of
Stewart?
the Badger? I mean the Wolverine. Yeah, the Wolverine.
We'll
Whoever the
do
enemy of Wolverine was.
Sabretooth.
The Badger. The Badger.
We'll just do
Let's say
Sabretooth.
that.
Yeah, that guy. I know you've seen the first movie because we watched the first movie together.
Yeah, again, I'm not big on superheroes or comic books, so to me, it's like you're cheating. You're just cheating. It's just cheating to create a story. That's
what's the coolest power? Controlling the weather? I don't even know what these powers are. Controlling metal? I don't know any of these powers either. We'll just put Magneto. Or no, we'll put Storm because you already voted that one before. If you're on Professor X's team, what color would you ask him to add to your uniform? Black, red, yellow, or blue?
I think you can tailor your answers to fit what you want your answer to be in this quiz.
That's what I'm trying to
Very
say.
easily.
Anyways,
I
red,
would say
black,
blue.
yellow, or blue. Yeah, blue, okay. What would your
Superman
fellow
now, 'cause
X-Men say about you? That you're nurturing, you're fierce, you're a rebel, or you get intimidated easily? I started to know the answer to this
Fierce.
question.
Fierce. Fierce, I guess.
What's the most important
is
trait for you
not
in a
me.
teammate? Obedience,
None of the above.
cool under
Yeah,
pressure,
qualities.
loyalty, willing to do anything.
How about I
From a
work alone?
teammate.
Leaving
Obedience,
me,
then.
letting me,
Exactly.
leaving me completely to my own.
Yeah, I
devices
think obedience will be that one. What's your role in the
Yeah,
team?
leave me
Leader,
alone.
tech support, leader, tech support,
Not a
warrior,
team player. I'm not a
strategist.
team player. I think they all have their ulterior motives, and I don't trust them. So I'm not a team player.
All right. What would be the best part about being an X-Men? Helping change people's lives, having a good support system, being a badass, or getting to use amazing powers? I think we already know the answer to that one. That was the whole point.
Helping people.
If you suddenly got
Helping
superpowers,
people.
how would you feel? Would you be overwhelmed
How
by
many
the
more?
responsibility? Would you be scared? This is.
What do you mean if? What do you mean if?
Would you be overwhelmed by responsibility, excited, scared out of your mind, or a bit nervous?
I would take it in stride completely. So whatever that answer is closest to that.
Okay.
I would
What would be
act
the
like
first
nothing
thing
happened.
that you do with those powers? Learn about how to control them, look for a cure for it so you'd cure yourself, show off, or get some revenge?
Learn how to control them, because if you don't know how to control them, what good is it? Like I said,
gonna
if
get
you
some
have
revenge,
a
yeah.
talent, there's absolutely no point in having a power if you can't control it.
There's a cure for being a mutant, and somehow it was administered to you. How would you feel? You're okay? Happy?
The
You would lose
same-
your
the
mind?
same-
It would be difficult to accept.
It wouldn't affect me whatsoever. Not at all. Zero. It's part of my
You're okay with
superpowers.
it.
Not giving a shit. Not giving a shit about stuff.
What
It's
would
part of
you
my
use your
superpower.
powers for? Good, and evil, or you wouldn't use them at all? You just keep them a secret.
When it occurred to me to use them, I would use them. Is that in there? It's not a choice either. I use it
just
for
do good and
good,
evil, then.
obviously. Jesus, I don't
Okay,
even know what evil.
you go to
Define evil.
you go to Professor X's school for mutants. What job would you have? The principal, the mentor, a teacher, or would you be a student?
I'd be a janitor. Was janitor in there?
Yeah, sure. Mentor. You can be a janitor
I don't
and a
wanna be-
mentor.
First of all, your superheroes
don't
are
wanna
always
be-
unassuming. Clark Kent was a junior reporter.
We're
at
just trying to get through the quiz
Daily
quickly,
Planet.
okay? If you would die on a mission, how do you want to go out? Peacefully and painlessly, with friends surrounding you, up in flames, on your own terms. That's kind of what Jean Grey does.
Nobody-
She goes out on her own terms.
Everybody wants to die in their own terms. That's a stupid
Exactly.
question. What a
Would your
dumb
family
question.
accept you
What a
as a mutant?
question.
Or would you be ostracized? Of course, they
I
don't
have
know.
no
I'm not
interest in
sure.
that.
No, they wouldn't. You don't know.
My family
you're not,
ostracized me just for not voting for Trump, so who gives a shit?
If you had to be a DC superhero, who would it be? Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, or Aquaman?
Be Batman. He used
What would you be most proud of? Your achievements, your progress, your fearlessness, or your talents?
Superman is a reactionary twit who's all interested in sexing up Lois Lane all the time. I was what was it? Sorry, what was the question? Next one.
What are you most proud of?
it?
Achievements, progress, fearlessness, or talents?
Talents. I guess I just said that anyway. That's
What's
it.
your current
what I
love
score.
life like? No, we're not. Oh, there's four more.
Less than 0.
Love life. It's complicated. Don't date very much. Long-term partner. I move from one to the next very quickly.
Next question.
What do you do most in a romantic relationship? Intelligence, kindness, sex appeal, or sass? What do you provide most? Intelligence, kindness, sass, wit, or sex appeal?
Next question. Next question.
Tip them. You have to get. I'll put my own. I'll put my own in here then.
You
I'll put my own answer.
You figure it out.
If you were dumped, how would you react? Would you be sad and mope around the house? Would you cry? Would you be angry and punch a wall? Or you would call another crush and then move right on? You got dumped.
Angry and punch the wall.
What do you do when you want to be alone? Library, the gym, a long drive, or go for a walk?
Sleep. Sleep wasn't in there.
Go to the library. You can sleep in the library.
Yeah, you can sleep at the library. As long as you're not making noise.
Which social media do you use? You don't use any of these. We'll just put LinkedIn. What of these? Which movie book series would?
Let's see.
Twitter, Tumblr, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. You don't use Tumblr.
Tumblr.
You don't use Twitter.
Tumblr?
You don't use
I never even
Snapchat.
heard of Tumblr.
Exactly. I know you don't know. You don't even know what it is. Exactly. We're gonna put LinkedIn. Which of these book series would you want to star in? Harry Potter, Twilight, The Hunger Games, Maze Runner.
I guess Hunger Games. I don't know.
If you could be an animal, would you be an owl, tiger, wolf, or fox?
What? A fox.
Owl, tiger, wolf,
How
or
many more
fox?
questions?
Okay.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Two more.
What was that
Drinking
last?
water,
What was
wine,
that last
whiskey, or
question you
vodka?
asked me?
What animal would you be?
None.
Owl, tiger, wolf, or fox? Okay.
What was? No, the
Two
one
more.
before the fox.
Or
What was
three
that
more.
question? What was the question? What was the question before the fox?
The Hunger Games. You'd be in the Hunger Games.
No, it was the one before that one. Then. No, there was one between those two.
No, that was it.
Oh, there?
We haven't skipped any.
Oh,
It's the weekend. Which one of these are you drinking?
you asked me a
Water,
question.
wine, whiskey,
I had no idea what
vodka.
you asked me. Vodka. Whiskey's terrible. Water.
What's your hidden talent? You never get sick. You make
How
people
would-
believe anything you say. You can attract both sexes. You're great at getting into and out of places unseen. This is the second last
that
one.
Last one. The last
Okay.
one.
And what do you ultimately want out of life? To help others, find yourself, live a content life, or live exactly as you please?
The last one. Help others.
All right, what's the answer? You're Professor X. There you go. You're Patrick Stewart. Congratulations. You even have the same last name. You have the power
Cool.
to use your mind and without limit, and you can do all sorts of things: telekinesis, telepathy.
Is he not Scottish? Is he not Scottish?
He is Scottish.
Patrick?
Yes, Patrick Stewart is famously Scottish.
There you go.
Yeah, see, perfect.
Where's he from?
There you
What
go.
part?
Now you're free. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's a French Stewart. He has the U.
No, he's not.
Name.
Is he? Oh, I don't know.
No. Oh,
No, he's not.
no.
He's
an English
Scottish.
Stewart. So
He grew
Yeah,
up in.
say
Oh, he grew up in
English because-
England. Never mind. Maybe he's English, not Scottish. But he could have been Scottish. And then they slowly went to England, because of the whole
Yeah,
take the Scottish out thing that happened ages ago.
he's 85. He was born in Muirfield, United Kingdom. That must be near Scotland somewhere.
It's Yorkshire. It's the northern.
It's near
the
the-
north. The north.
It's gonna be the north. Right. He isn't
Anyways,
gonna. He isn't
you're
named
free to go.
Jones. He would have been from
Take
Wales.
care. Enjoy your bathroom break. I love you. Don't get stuck in a
My
tangent
bathroom
now.
break is already. The urge is already gone now, so I'll be waiting. Probably drink some more coffee before I gotta go now. Right? That's how it works. The urge is only there for a little while. No, I'm
Okay, you
constipated.
say so.
I'm not constipated. That's my special power, being constipated. All right.
That's
Love you.
nice.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Love
for
you too.
Fridays.
Bye-bye. See you for Friday's news dump.
Bye.
Or Thursday's dump right now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I want something. Real.
Oh, dear. Professor X. Okay. That has been us for your bonus. It was movies. I think it was probably the movie Omlin. I just pressed the first quiz I found. That took 10 minutes to do. That's crazy. That was not a short quiz at all. I will see you guys tomorrow for Friday's news dump, and later for yoga and Guild Wars 2. We're gonna continue the story in Guild Wars 2. So see you in, I guess, 2 hours. Damn, this show went long. 2 hours from now. Wait, that's not math. 4 hours from now. I'll see you in 4 hours from now. And let's do the end screen. I would say we're raiding anybody, but we never. There's nobody to raid. I don't know who to raid. I guess I could raid Ilfa. I thought Ilfa was on. Let me do. It's fun.
The chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
I don't think. Oh, anybody? Ilfa is on right now playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is totally the same thing we're doing. Let's just go raid Ilfa, because it's the only person that is live right now. If it'll let me. And, is it letting me? Maybe it's not letting me. It's not letting me raid! So sad. Then we won't raid anybody. Thank you all of these lovely Patreon supporters and everybody who was here in chat today, and for the continued support on the channel. I heard they just changed affiliate rules now, that you can make channel points and emotes without having an affiliate, but you just can't make any money, right? You can't export your money off the website. So that's interesting. I'll look into that. And I'll see you later. And if not, have a good rest of your Thursday.